Yo, yo, welcome back to another episode of Rolling with Life, where we like to roll with life's punches and live to talk about it. Today, we got our biggest guest so far, and God willing, he goes to bigger podcast, and God willing, we get bigger guests. In the name of Jesus, we're putting it out there right now. But today,
Hallelujah.
give it up for our boy, Mac 1, Woodburn's very own,
Yeah, you
baby.
heard the name. Been balling before the chains. Rocks in my wallet, that's chump for the change. Or change for
Had
the
to do that for you right there. I had you on the sound pad.
Like when you
Cheers,
get in the
cheers,
spread, they all want a slice of the fame. I'm not who I was, I am what I became. If you're not in the picture, step out of the
I want
frame.
to thank Mac for being here with us today. How you feeling, brother?
Good, bro. No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
A little bit of nerves. It's on all our end. It's honestly,
straight up.
we've been doing the podcast for about 6 months, but
It's our first guest.
we
though.
took
Bring-
about a month and a half break too. So it's
We did.
We're
We've been
both
busy.
We're all a little rusty here. So no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. We're all here for one reason and one reason only. My boy Mac here just did something major.
that most of us in our lifetime will not do. To be
Everybody's
real.
town has rappers, and in high school, everybody's spitting flows.
Mhm.
Everybody's getting in circles, but not everybody gets an album on iTunes. And my boy here did that. So round of applause for him. That's a major accomplishment, especially coming out of the place we come out of. Woodburn is it's a very small farmer town. Right now, honestly, the biggest thing we're known for right now at this very moment.
Woodburn outlets.
No, the fucking ice raids. It's just the
Ice raids,
it's the
God
major issue right now going on in Oregon, and our town for the first time in our lives
on the spotlight.
is being targeted for the wrong reasons. But thankfully, we have a voice now, somebody that can speak upon these topics if it needs to be talked about, in the future. So it's a lot of pride for us to have somebody that's doing major things, and we'll get into the major things he's doing. But first of all, we just want to say cheers to our boy. We apologize too for not having a bottle. We were gonna have a bottle here today, but the way the weekdays work and the liquor stores be closing, it just didn't work out that way, my boy. So we apologize, but we did what we could, and hopefully it's a proper invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. Thank you, bro. I appreciate for you guys having me here, though. Either way, it's definitely a lot of things going on in my city, everywhere else, but Woodburn is definitely on the map when it comes to ice. There's too many people who are on the negative side, and I feel like we got to do something for our people. And, that's what I'm here, not only to tell you guys about my music, about my life, about what I do, but my people are the ones who matter too. So I appreciate you guys for having me.
That's right,
So,
big dog,
That's
pit
right.
bull
Hell
status,
yeah.
dog.
That's what's up.
And before we say this, I think we already included it in the intro. One of my ideas for this intro is to include that ICE number to call. There's a lot of people out there putting in their work. Like I seen a TikTok today being
Yeah.
shared where a lady was going around with a megaphone on her rooftop on her car
Yeah.
and saying, ICE is present, call this number. You have a right to stay in your car. You have a right to stay in your house.
Yeah.
Don't open the
Do not
doors.
get the fuck out of your car. You drive off, hit
You know?
somebody. Like, get the fuck out of there.
And like I said on the previous podcast, I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. I didn't mean it in any that wrong way. But like I said, we knew the risk we were taking coming into this country, and we knew the risk that we take every day. Go to work. We know something can happen, and ice raids have never been an issue. But at any point in our lives, we knew like these things could happen, and
Not on this level, at least.
no,
Like,
nobody
damn.
expected it like this. But in no way, shape, or form are we supporting Trump or anything like that. Like, don't take it the wrong way. Like, when I said, like, we knew what we were in for, we knew what we were in for. But it's up to us to fight and unite and keep each other aware. And
Have each
Hey.
other's back more than anything, honestly.
if we have a little bit of a voice, if he has a little bit of voice, let's use it. Let's be the salt to that ice. So that's all we can do. So with that being said, allow us to continue with this episode with a little bit of grace. And in the name of Jesus, everything will work out. But with that being said, unless you had something to say about the topic. But
Amen. That's all I got to say. Amen.
all right. With that being said, thank you everybody for tuning into this podcast. And we're here because like we said, our boy here just released an album, and shit, I'll be the first to say it. I used to be a rapper, and once upon a time, it was you get on SoundCloud,
True game.
you get on SoundCloud, and you're never to be heard of again, and that's just the way the game worked. But today we got somebody with us that made it on iTunes. He's had a show already. He's gonna have more shows, but we're here to introduce to you Gangsta, Love, and Heartbreak by Mac 1. I think personally, after listening to the whole album, that the name was perfect because it starts off gangsta. It starts off with that trap flow. It starts off very in your face, very, lyrical, the way the streets want to talk. And then halfway through, it just starts to get a little bit like what I like to call conscious rap. That's my favorite shit. Like J. Cole, like that type of shit, It starts to go there in the middle. And then towards the end, we sprinkle a little bit something for the ladies. And that's pimping. I like that. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I peeped game. I did my homework on the album. And I liked it. I fucked with it the whole way. Down to the name. I think the name was very selective. Now, I want to bring it up to you. Is that what your mindset was behind the name, or where did the name come from?
Well, I feel like
And did he hit it like head on the dot, like on the nail on the head?
no, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
He was head on. He was head on. So I had a lot of music that I hadn't dropped, and I feel like there was actually a few songs that didn't make the cut. And it was like other artists that I work with. I'm guessing, it didn't go through on their end. It is what it is. Sometimes you take a fall, and you gotta just keep on pushing, keep on moving from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to head on for sure.
So what made you select the name?
I'm versatile, man.
How do you pick the tracks then? Like, how do you pick? Is it just based off the name, or you made the tracks go in order like that, and then you made the name, or?
Nah, man. A lot of these songs, actually, a few of them, I feel like I made like a couple years ago, and some of them are like from like recently, like the gangster songs. The first 5, I feel like I made them maybe like a couple weeks before the album dropped.
Oh shit!
So
a little bit more pressure behind those songs.
In a way, I feel like the album should have dropped a long time ago, but everything takes its time, and that's just the way it is, man. Music takes its time. Sometimes you can just be on a roll and just drop single by single, which is what I asked the people. If you guys want singles or do you guys want an album? And the majority of the people said that they wanted an album. And you got to listen to the people, even though like I make the music for me, but at the end of the day, it just took its time, and I'm a perfectionist. I want to make sure that the things come out right. And there's still some things that I see in my music that I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could have done something different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy with what I came out with, and it's definitely something that is gonna make me, do better.
I'm gonna say this real quick because you said versatile, and that's one of the things I wrote down on my notes. Actually, I'm glad you said that. It was very versatile, and I even explained it in the description of your album. It was very versatile. Went from trap, conscious rap. You got some lyricism there.
Yeah.
You can hear you're not a dumb, naive kid. You've got some book smarts. You've paid attention. You've tried to better yourself. You can hear that. And with that being said, there's a lot of times that you like did it in the album where before your verse starts, you're like, let me kick a little game. Let me say this. Let me say that. There's people that are claiming to be a boss and they're not a boss.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that. I
tight.
fuck with that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do claim that they're doing stuff and really they're not. And they get offended when you call them out.
Yeah.
They say they're doing better than you, and you say you're living at your mama's house. And they're like, well, that's not the same. Bro, there's people out here doing it on their own. And like, that's a boss, And there's people claiming to be a boss at their mama's house. And I'm not saying that's the example, but it's an example.
Yeah.
And I liked how you were talking your shit like that in a lot of those songs. And it made me think, like, who did you listen to growing up that influenced you to talk like that? Or was that something that you think was lacking? What led you to be more talkative before you spit? I don't know, things like that just kind of like kick a little bit of knowledge, exclusive, if you will, in your words. Pay-per-view.
Hey, the pay-per-view, yeah. I heard that earlier today. I was like, hey, that's just tight.
Honestly, I feel like shit, man. All these people who are making this music, they're not really making no moves, And I'm not trying to bash anybody whatsoever. If you're making some noise, you're doing what it do.
Raising the bar sometimes gets people offended, but
Always.
raising the bar is what we need. So continue. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No
but-
worries, no worries. But you know what? Ask me that question one more time. I'm sorry. I apologize. Ask me that question one more time.
Well, I heard you
Run it
talking a
back.
lot spitting game,
Mhm.
wanting to influence your listeners and to like elevating themselves.
Yeah.
Don't just talk about it, be about it. And talking about it and being about it are two different things. So who did you listen to? Who did you listen to that inspired you to spit that? Like, because I know me personally, I liked Fabulous growing up.
Ooh.
And a lot of people
Bars.
he slept on.
Yeah,
To me,
absolutely.
I had a lot of people get offended when I say he's in my top 10. And I'm like, I'm not saying he's the best rapper in the world, best beats over Drake. No, but to me personally, that's the music I like. I like to listen to inspirational shit. Nobody did it better than Fabulous in my book. And so to me, I could see how that inspires me as a rapper to try to kick some game. So who did you listen to that inspired that?
I mean, now that you said this, Fabulous was definitely in my top 10. He's in my top 10 because he's punchlines, bars. He's up there.
And a lot of people don't give him credit because they listen to the main music, the Neo
Yeah.
features. Go back and check out the Soul tapes. Check out Soul tape number
Yeah,
1, 2, and
Neo.
3 by Fabulous. And
The Soul tapes. There is no competition.
no,
There is no competition. He was up there killing it.
I don't think anybody should have ever remixed a Tupac song, but he did it best. Fabulous did the remix best.
And now that you mentioned Tupac, he was definitely one of my influences. Tupac, anything really that's just old school rap, Biggie Smalls,
Yeah.
anything. I mean, I listened to all that growing up.
Yeah.
But you know what was the craziest thing is that
Easy.
easy for sure. NWA, all that stuff.
yeah.
I grew up listening to everything. That's what I get my inspiration from. I'm not gonna say I didn't get inspiration from other artists or whatever. But I definitely grew up on a lot of West Coast, but East Coast was really where I got my feel. Northern California is really where I got my flow, but East Coast is where I got my what I'm saying, where you have punchlines and bars. Big L.
That's me too.
Yeah,
And it's
Big L,
surprising.
yeah.
Growing up in Oregon, it's just it's a crazy thing because when you're from California, it just seems like it's like California only music. When you're from New York, it seems like it's like East Coast only. Oregon is in a beautiful place where it's like we don't have very many artists to look up to or a sound. We're not the Bay. We can't claim to be the Bay.
No.
But the Bay definitely passed through here. I remember fucking our era, like tell me when to go. We were having house parties to that shit. I
Yeah.
remember there was people getting hyphy. I remember we
Hyphy,
we absorbed
goddamn.
all that era. We're in between Seattle and Seattle's like the Bay's cousin. And so we're in the middle of that. We're also West Coast. But I grew up listening to like Mobb Deep and like Biggie Smalls and Big L and like I got
Yeah.
inspired by East Coast a lot.
Mobb Deep was dope. Mobb Deep
A
was
lot.
sick.
And I was kind of one of those guys that was like just exploring everything. And I feel like I can hear that in your music too. Like another thing I was surprised was like we're about 5 years apart, but you give me a much younger perspective when you rap. Like you're reaching the 21, 22-year-olds as well, Like you're in the middle. You're still in that like crazy lifestyle, but you're also a dad. And so like you can hear that in your music. You're crazy, but you also have this like, fuck, how am I gonna pay the rent? Like I heard that in some of your songs too. I think I have it written down in the notes here somewhere, but like Real Life might have been one of them. But like I love that you said that in some of your songs. You broke down real life shit. Cause in other songs you're like, it's not my style of music, the trap stuff. It's like they say there's a meme where it's like listening to corridos, going to your 9 to 5. Like it's crazy, but then you got a regular lifestyle. So it's like to me, trap music has never really been it. But like I feel like there was like a halfway point in your album where you're like, enough with the gangster shit. Let's get a little bit conscious. Let's get a
real.
little let's get a
be-
little
yeah.
real. And I fuck with that.
Let's get some feedback. Let's get some.
I guess I don't really have a question towards that, but
I got an answer.
go ahead.
But I
Yeah,
got
go
an
ahead and
answer.
speak on that.
Yeah.
All right, so with the word versatile, which what I was telling you earlier,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Versatile. I feel like I had to change it up. I had to do something that's gonna be different than what anybody else does. you know. But at the same time, is do what they do, but try to do it better, you know, or at least be able to do it. You know, I'm able to do it. You know, I have a lot of different styles, a lot of different music that I'm gonna be coming out with here soon. I'm working actually on album number 2, and everything takes its time, but right now is the time for me to capitalize, and I have to take advantage because once you get that little bit of motion, you gotta
Ride the wave. Ride the wave.
ride the wave.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely. So
And touching on that, once you get a little bit of motion, people get comfortable and they let it ride and it goes away.
mhm.
And no, it's seize the moment. You know, Eminem said it best. Take advantage of the moment. But touching on that, is there any topics you want to bring up, or want me to bring up one more, and then you prepare
Let me
yourself?
see. No, I think I got a little something. But
Real
go for
quick
it,
before
for it,
you
for
go,
it, for it.
you did mention too, and I noticed this too. You just dropped the album now, and when you go on your iTunes, it's nothing but singles and singles and singles and singles, which are fire. I like the singles. Some of the singles, I'm like, why did these not make the cut? But then I noticed the years. I was like, 2024. Okay, maybe they just didn't feel like the album's not gonna release on time, but this song's hot right now. So let me maybe something like that happened. Speak on that. Like what took 5 singles and then the album.
Life. I feel like
life. I mean, you right away, yeah.
Yeah.
Life. I feel like that's what it is. A lot of things going on in life. Everybody's got things going on in their life, so you can't really, speak on it all the time. But
Do you think it has anything to do with excuse the comparison, it's not a comparison, but Tekashi 6ix9ine came out and he was the first person that came out that was like single, 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 and then an album. And before him, it wasn't really like that. It was like you put out a mixtape, an album, and then you're allowed to put out some singles,
Yeah.
But that ride worked out for Tekashi so well that like single, single, single. Is it almost kind of like a recipe these days, or was that not like the way you were looking at it?
it wasn't planned? No, it wasn't planned. It just happened. I feel like I knew that I was gonna work on an album, but because I had a bunch of these songs in the vault, and it was just perfect timing for me to like drop an album out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it just happened to happen. It wasn't really planned. I knew that an album was gonna be coming soon. I mean, I started off when I was 15 years old, bro. Like I dropped my first song when I was 15.
Get it.
But people don't know that because
That is
in reality, it was never
super
out
young.
like that. Like
Right.
I had a couple songs when I recorded when I was 15, 16 years old, and and they were mostly because of my inspirations. I used to
Yeah.
freestyle back in the day in middle school, and I feel like I saw people freestyle in recess, and I'm like, man, I can do better. And I started off right.
I was about to say, I was like,
that.
I was about to say, I was
Top
like,
that.
that's about where I got to. I remember like learning how to rhyme. Somebody telling me I was decent, and then getting in someone's closet, someone's closet booth. And-
Ali.
Yeah, Kid Ali. I don't know if you know Kid Ali, but he
Yeah.
was
That's my dog. Shout out, Kid
Yeah.
Ali.
he was that guy back in the day, and me and
Yeah.
him linked up, and he made me a better rapper. I remember hearing him and being like, damn, like
Shout
the
out
way
to
you're
Ali.
spitting it, the way you're spitting it is dope. And I remember him motivating me to do it. But again, back in the day, like all we knew is like SoundCloud is the route,
SoundCloud was around, man.
But I
actually-
also thought so much. I was like, Post Malone posted on SoundCloud. How did this shit go viral? And it's like, it's because your shit was whack, dog. I didn't go viral because my shit was whack. Let me just be the first to say maybe that's what it was. But I felt like me and Ali were releasing some heat. We had a little bit of motion back in the day, but it doesn't go that way for everybody. But I remember when you dropped, matter of fact, let me interrupt. I remember I was going to give you a little shot, but you just made me ramble about something else.
Look.
So
If you guys don't know now, my boy Alex, he can talk.
he's a rambler. So with that being said, I just rambled my way into the next question. So with that being said, everybody, like I said, in my day, we released a song. You got a little bit of hype and it died out. I remember you released a song. So what does Four Wall Love mean to you? I knew that would bring a smile to you. I was like, I knew I did my notes right. And the way he smiled right now, I was like, bro, I did my notes.
Tight.
For Wall Love. Okay. I mean, For Wall
Give me
Love.
some love. Give me some credit.
I mean, look, listen. Amor de cuatro paredes. You know
Yeah.
what that means, obviously.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
For Wall Love. That's what it is. A lot of times I make music so people can feel it. It doesn't necessarily have to have a story behind it, but it could. So if you feel it, just like at the end of my video on Four Wall Love, if you feel it, then then that's what it is. That's basically what it is.
But in my eyes, I looked at your album, and it was like on iTunes. Boom, you find that. Then you find your singles, and then I went on YouTube, and I was like, all these music videos are being released through a label, but the only music videos that were not were on your channel. You have two.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked, what does Four Wall Love mean to you? Not in the sense of the meaning of the song, but like, what does that song mean to you being your first song that you put out? And I saw the comments. The comments went crazy. Everybody was showing support.
It means a lot. It means a lot, honestly. I feel like it was smooth. It was something that I feel like is gonna be something different than what I made before. Everything else that I had on SoundCloud, I'm not gonna lie to you, it ain't it. It ain't it. But I feel like after For a While Love, everything just kind of just skyrocketed in a way. Even if it didn't go up too far, it definitely
Felt better.
It was a neighborhood pop, though.
It gave me a jump. It gave me a jump for me to just like, all right, I'm gonna start making different music or doing what I have to do.
So he listened to the album, and we got, before the podcast started, I was like, did you listen to this one? He's like, oh, I didn't go on YouTube. I listened to the album, but I didn't go on YouTube. So I was like, check it out. Does it sound different? And he heard it, and he's like, it's a totally different sound. It sounds like a different Mac 1.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the first thing we did was like, this compares to Mac Miller.
Mac
it has a
Miller,
Mac
yeah.
Miller feel to it.
That's
For
what
a while, you talking about For a While Love?
Yeah, it has a Mac Miller feel to it all over it. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's
If
the
you get
reason
by the
people fucked with
weekend.
it so hard, because it was like, hey,
yeah.
but then the sound changed majorly on the album.
Yep.
What was up with that, or what made you start with that flow, and what made you switch the flow, or like, is that something that's just in the vault that you're planning to go back to eventually? Just a question.
It was definitely one of those that were in the boat, because like I said, this album, it has a bunch of songs that are different, and I'm not saying I can't make more music like I did with For a While Love. I think it was just like in the moment, what I felt was right at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And just everything, the experiences that I've been through in life. So I put them all in my music, absolutely. But at the same time, I also make music that is just something that I feel at the moment. If I hear a beat, if I hear a sound, if I'm like, all right, cool, this is gonna be about this, it's gonna be about that. But I'm not saying that I rap about stuff that isn't real. I'm just saying that I make music for the people.
Yeah. No, like, all your music lyrically is real. You're being yourself in that moment. It just seems like you went through a transition of your music taste, in a sense, or the music, not music taste, because I remember, like I said, I used to make music too, and I listened to a variety of music. You put a certain beat, it brings a certain vibe.
Yep.
But like, are you planning on bringing back that style, or is that like that's just who I was at that moment, and then I'm growing and moving? Because I feel like I hear that in your music, like that was then, and then now you're around different people, and your music's starting to evolve. I guess in a sense, it's evolving, but you're like, I'm still gonna touch on
It definitely
that.
has to influence you, right? Kicking in with like certain like rappers or even artists or whatever, like that's got to be an influence, right?
I'm sure it opens doors in your
Yeah.
flows, but like, we'll let him say it.
Yeah.
Definitely, to what both of you guys are saying, but it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna bring things back. It's the melody. It's when I feel it, I'm gonna spit it.
No, and you did it on this
Plain and
album
simple.
too.
Plain and simple.
I will say that. I'm not saying he didn't do it on his album. He did. It's just, it's a different note. What's up with you, Chris?
When you're I guess my question is, I guess I gave up on my rapping career a long time. I felt like I just watched Get Rich or Die Trying.
His name is Chris, and he used to be Lil Briss.
I
I'm fucking with
watched Get Rich or Die Trying the other day, and I felt like 50 Cent. He's just like, he gets in his own pad, and then like he's sitting down writing lyrics and shit. And 3 hours into it, he's like, man, I'm fucking hungry, and he goes back to slanging dope. And then I was just like, yep, that was it, And then I was just like, so my question to you is, when you're sitting down writing these songs, like, where do you pull your inspiration from? How long does it really take you to write down a song, or do you freestyle it sometimes, or where does it come from?
That's funny you ask. Actually, I freestyle a lot of my music. I'm chilling in my car and I have my dash cam on. I'll put on a beat. I'll find a beat. If I fuck with it and I'm like, all right, cool. This is gonna be one of the beats that I'm gonna make music to. I freestyle to it. I'll go back and then I'll write it down, whatever I freestyled, and then if I need to make some changes, I'm gonna make some changes.
Yeah.
But
then you get your base from that. You get the foundation, the core from that.
most of the time,
Yeah.
most of the time,
Yeah, that's how it happens.
most of the time,
That's
that's where the
dope.
magic happens. Unless I find something specific where I'm like, man, this beat's hard as fuck. I'm gonna have to take my time and actually write something to it because I can definitely write something without a beat, and then I'm like, all right, cool. If I find whatever beat I need for it, then
Right.
that's what's gonna be put down on it. But for the most part, I freestyle a lot of my stuff, and then I write it down after I freestyle it because I'm always recording in my dash cam in my vehicle.
Right.
You feel?
So
I
you
was
play
gonna
it
say,
back
yeah,
and
I was
listen to
gonna say,
yourself.
how do you record it then? Yeah, if you're driving. Okay, that makes sense.
I remember like I said, I was rapping back in the day. So it was like I did the same thing. Like I'd get in my car after work, and back then it was like voice note. Just because you write the note how you spit it, but then you're like later on I might forget how I spit it.
Yeah.
So it's like you record your voice just to kind of keep the melody in
Yeah.
mind.
The beat almost.
That happens to me all the time,
Yeah.
bro. Where all of a sudden I'm rapping something and then
You forgot how you said it.
I
and you're
forgot
like, how
the
did
flow.
I
Sound
spit
the
this?
same.
How did that
I forgot the
fit?
flow. I forgot the melody. I don't know, and I'm like, fuck, man. I gotta remember. And then
So
I
I'll
think,
give you that. I'll give you that a little advice. If you got voice note, do that. If not, do a Snapchat video yourself, just doing it, just to kind of go back and resource it.
Oh, brother.
You're like, I got
I do
videos.
that. I do that. Trust me.
out, yeah.
I do that.
All right.
Check all his videos.
But-
just
but
all
thank
He's
that.
like,
Thank you.
I'm the rapper, you're the podcaster. Stick
Nothing
to
like
that,
that.
dog.
And look, I
Stay in
take
your lane, Alex.
I take advice from anybody.
You're a retired rapper for a fucking reason, dog.
I take advice from
SoundCloud
anybody,
rapper, bro.
Nah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
Hey,
with that.
but as you see with my little sound pad skills,
Yeah.
I bring my rapping skills to what I do now, okay?
No, Alex definitely could be a producer, bro. Hands down, bro.
Oh, there you can say I can still be a rapper.
Ah, damn. Okay.
Hey, you,
No,
you
he
ever
can
thought
still be a
about doing
rapper.
DJ? What about DJ? You ever DJ?
Oh, dude, you don't even know me then.
Oh, shit.
Back in the day,
DJ
dude,
No Request.
I used to be the house party DJ, and my name was
Hey,
DJ No Request.
People come up, hey, play this song.
Because I'd
DJ
be like,
No Request.
it's DJ No Request. You can't request it. And then, like, when it was a pretty
It
girl
was catchy. It was good.
that, like, kind of thought she had a chance to get the song, I'd be like, all right, look, we got this application. You're going to have to fill it out. Write the song you want, and we'll play it next week.
Put in your
We'll
social.
play it next week,
Hey, put in
bitch.
your social. It's so way.
Leave your debit card. We'll see.
Leave your writing an account.
All right, so another note I wrote down. On the song, I want to be that official. I wrote down what song.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
On Love Yours,
Love yours.
you mentioned middle school is when you learn to rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
So what pushed you from middle school to when you actually started taking it serious? Like, I'm just messing around with the homies to like, you know what? Because we all hear that. You're good. You're good. You're good. But you put money behind this, it seems like, you know? So what
Yeah.
made it go from like middle school, high school even, like fucking around with the homies in the cypher to like, fuck that. I'm getting a feature.
Yeah.
What changed?
I mean, everything changed, man. I mean, music has always been my passion. You know, I used to break dance back in the day too. So
Okay,
Yeah,
real
I-
B-boy
I
then.
pursued
used to
that
break
too. That
dance,
shit was
so-
hard.
breakdancing was like
I
my
tried,
thing.
but I was too fat. I was like, my
was-
wrist hurt.
That shit
Even
was
to this
hard,
day,
bro.
I still like, I got some moves. I'm not gonna lie, but
Hey, you, just real quick advice. Put that in a music video.
breakdancing, fuck. man.
No, like a move real quick.
A
Like
move.
it's like, you know how you do like the balling like, damn.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
that's a little move. You know, maybe a little something, you know, just to
on my Chris Brown
Hey,
shit.
if we really- if we
Crazy.
really-
get
no.
up there and dance.
if we really
You know,
break down
stomp the
rap and
yard
hip
out
hop,
here.
it was very much DJ, B-boy, and
Mhm.
rapper. It was breakdancing, DJ, and rapping. And now breakdancing went away. DJ's he's out of the picture.
Breakdancing has
Yep.
not gone away.
It's just the rapper in
you
the
don't really know
fucking
too
picture
many
now,
people
and
that
it's
do
like,
it
bro,
anymore.
put a little stands, a little stands in a
yeah.
even though as a
Fucking-
music cover
Hey, just
or
get down,
like
bro, and throw a windmill
I'm just
down, bro.
saying.
Throw a
Just
windmill down, fuck.
I'm
For
just
real,
saying
yeah.
it'd be dope, like a
And
dope
some light.
concept, a little picture, a little scene. You know, it doesn't have to be the whole thing.
Nah, bro. But like, what I want to say is that I know that I got these music videos. They're kind of simple. I feel like they got their style and everything. But I want to make some music videos that are more, cinematic.
Right.
So with that being said, put some dance moves into it. Make a story.
It
You know
doesn't
what
have
I'm
to be
saying?
you. It
No,
could be someone
no,
else.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's the plan. I got bigger moves, bigger things that I want to do. But right now, it's like I'm gonna take it one day at a time. But for a fact, I always think about tomorrow. Never about right now. I'm
Mhm.
always thinking about my next move.
I believe you said that in your songs too. You're like, I forget what the line was, but you were talking about like thinking about tomorrow. Fuck yesterday, plan for tomorrow. Something along those lines.
Exactly.
So I like that. That's something that you
You
live
did your
by.
homework for sure. You definitely
Oh.
you definitely listen, huh?
My brother, I'm a truck driver. I got nothing but time to listen.
Got time.
So all today I was just driving fucking 5 hours. Like, let's replay this. Let's do this.
That's-
let's do that. Write this
yeah.
note.
That's Woodburn in Houston, by the way.
Yeah.
That's Woodburn in Houston.
Okay, yeah. I was out here doing my homework.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the nitty gritty, the accent people's favorite word. How did you call? How do you say his name? Acito.
Acito, I mean,
He's Hispanic, right?
yeah, he's Hispanic.
Where does his name come from? It's like acid, but like Mexican acito, like a little bit of acid.
How do you spell it?
Acito. I tried to look up an
Acito.
interview to see how someone else, but I couldn't
It's
find.
Acito.
Anyways, how did you end up linking? Because, like I said, let's go back to my perspective. A lot of us were like, Kid Ali
Yeah.
put me on. So I was like, you sound good with me. Let's put music out together and we'll pop. That shit didn't work. His shit's popping off because it's like, he did his work too. He got his, he's got his people behind him, got the city behind him, but the city's only so big.
Yeah.
He went out to Cali. He went out to Houston. He went out of his way. This motherfucker's going out of his way to put music out with other people.
Yeah.
And that is what stood out the most to me. That is what I want to applaud the most. Because
Yeah, you travel.
you're doing it like nobody around here has done it before. And let's just give a round of applause for that. Because everybody, like I said before, we've all known a SoundCloud rapper. We've all had a high school rapper. And like I said, you go to SoundCloud and you're never to be heard of again. This motherfucker is on iTunes with some good ass features. So how did Peso Peso, Acito, and I know you got more names, but those are the names that stood out to me the most that I know. I know there's other names that are bigger or not bigger, but like equally as big that other people know, but I'm not as familiar with them. But like, how did that happen?
All right, we're gonna have to take it back a little bit.
Go ahead.
So
We
So
gotta
I-
get some context in here.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Slug OTR from Yakima. So I got put onto his merchandise. He was selling his merchandise, Road Runners, and I got a hold of him. I remember he made music too. I hit him up and I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, let me get this shirt, and he's like, for sure. Let's work.
He's
and-
a rapper too.
He's a rapper, yeah. Slug OTR from Yakima. And I saw that he had music with AWACS. And I'm like, man, I listened to AWACS growing up. So I'm going to tell him, yo, how'd you get a feature? And he locked me in, honestly, with AWACS. And he from NorCal. He's a NorCal legend for sure. Shout out AWACS. And sure enough, we got a feature going on. I drove to Northern Cali with my brothers. And we got a song, a video the same day. After that, I was already locked in with AWACS, and I was like, all right, cool, big move, big step right there. Sure enough, I'm like, I'm gonna just hit up as many artists that I can on IG,
That worked. Let me see what else.
on IG,
Yeah.
and just to see
Network.
network,
Yeah.
absolutely, and and be like, yo, how much for your future or whatever the case was,
Right.
like I'm not afraid to spend some dollars, scare money don't make no money, you feel me?
Right.
You gotta spend money to make
Hey.
money.
And everybody says it, but not everybody does it. And this
Yeah.
motherfucker went out and did that.
So I honestly don't even remember how it was with Peso Peso. He's locked in with AWACS, and I think I just hit him up. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and we recorded a song, a video. I went out to Houston to go shoot that, and like now we got the other one, Ballin' Like Dame, as well. And that one right there is one of
Am
my
I
favorites.
wrong when I think you're like the most locked in with Peso Peso?
The most locked
Musically,
in,
like not friendship wise, but like collabing music wise. Because I feel like you got the most music videos and like good verses out of him. And if you're not locked in like that with him, kudos to him for putting in the effort on everything, because it looked like you guys were almost like friends.
Well, Peso's a cool ass cat. You know, I fuck with him. He's cool, and I feel like he definitely did his thing with my music. And I appreciate him for that. Like that, we got another song on the way. I'm working with as much artists that I feel like I can. I definitely got a lot of people telling me that you gotta make more singles or no futures or whatever. People hating.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's fine. You guys can say whatever you want to say. I'm gonna keep it real with everybody. If you're gonna say oh, you gotta make more singles, like you only good with futures or whatever, it's cool. But do you fuck with the futures though?
I will say this. Eventually you have to, but I feel like what you're doing is right. You're gaining attention with every song you're putting out. And yes, eventually you do need to prove yourself in a 3-verse track by yourself. But like that comes with time. And like I said, the rules have changed in the game a little bit. And I feel like you're doing your thing right now, gaining attention. And eventually you are going to have to get your own verse. But like one of the other topics I wanted to touch on is like, you could definitely see your progression in your flows as they're going. Like, there's the first song you put out that sounded like Mike Miller. Great song. Great. But then, like, there's other ones that, like, are more recent that you're spitting better. You're more confident on the mic. You could tell you're more comfortable. And that came with time. And so will the future things come with time. So I think you're doing it as you should. Anybody that is hating... What have you done? What have you done lately? Like, what have you done lately?
I mean, the real plan is like, hey, more haters the better. At the same.
You're not on the Rolling with Life podcast right now. Just like not playing.
Hey, you tuning in, y'all. You tuned in.
You
listen to what I got to say.
Any attention is good attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think you're doing a great job. Again, I just felt like with Peso Peso, there was like some kind of what do you call it when chemistry? Like there was chemistry there, and like it looked like you guys were like cool. But if that's not the case, it's still cool of him to do that, and like shout out to him still. Like no hate, but like him and Acito were, I think, my favorite like features you had, and even more Acito. I feel like even more with Acito, you blended a little bit better with him. Like your styles blended a little better. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. But I mean, the impressive part was the features. You got those done, and kudos to you, brother. Kudos to you.
Thank you. I feel like I'm more locked in with Acito for sure. Peso is always gonna be my boy. He gets down, he does his thing. He got his motion, and Acito, it's because it's like NorCal. I feel like it's just a different vibe, a different style.
I feel like we relate more to the West Coast, obviously.
West
like,
Coast.
There's been multiple times, and even not even with that. There's been multiple times that I've been in Mexico, and they're like, "De dónde eres?" And I try to lie, like, "Soy de Guanajuato."
Yeah, I'm from Michoacán.
No, I try to lie, like, "Soy de Guanajuato," and they're like, "Nah, eres de California." Right away, they assume I'm from California just because, like, Oregon, like, the way we dress, the way we talk. Yeah. I've always been told that. You sound like you're from California.
Nah, I'm from Oregon.
And, like,
I'm from Portland.
Nah, like, California fucks with Oregon. I know California fucks with Oregon.
The same shit. When you go to Mexico, that's what they think, yeah.
The one thing I will say, California needs to stop. When you move here and someone says, "Are you from Oregon?" Don't sound disgusted. Don't sound like, no, I'm from Cali. Like, bitch, you're here now. Like, show some love to where you're at now.
Respect.
Like,
put some respect.
Like, Oregon's not that bad.
Oregon, I love Oregon.
I would never put Oregon down. Honestly,
No,
Oregon is one of the
Never.
greatest states to ever live in.
I mean, we're biased because we're from here.
Yeah.
But like, come on, like, there's so many people that have came here and we welcome them with open arms. We put them on to like the good food. Oregon is not that bad when you're connected with the right people. It's I guess compared to California or bigger cities, we're a little bit more spread apart. But
what's
still fire.
What's that one thing that was going around, like when they're like the girl, they're like throwing her around between like between races. They're like us, and they're like saying us Asians, we don't want her. Like us Californians, we don't want her.
We appreciate the offer, but we decline
another race.
But the Haitians can have her.
They can have them.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Oh my God, bro, that shit's hilarious. Well, as a once Californian, born and raised there, I am now an Oregonian. I've lived here longer, and Oregon's the shit. Mm-hmm. Oregon's fucking sick as fuck. I love Oregon way more than I love California now.
I want to say it's because of the laws, different things that we can get away with. I don't want to say get away with, but definitely, like with California,
It's
don't-
cool to visit.
it's cool
California
to
is dope
visit.
as fuck.
I love
to
Cali.
visit,
I love
but not
Cali,
to live there.
but Oregon, it's home.
Yeah.
I guess home is definitely where
You
you
can
make
raise your
it.
kids here.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anybody can live in Oregon and be like, I'm comfortable living here.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason either way why I took my music elsewhere to make things happen, because in Oregon, you don't really hear too much people. Amine, that he went popping,
Oh yeah.
But nowadays,
He's from Oregon, huh?
Yeah.
Amine's from
Yeah.
Oregon, but nowadays, it's like who's really doing what it do? You feel me? Like Portland's got their
It's
own
not
scene.
a consistent thing happening.
Portland
here.
has their own music scene, but I'm not locked in with the Portland scene because I wanted to take my music elsewhere.
Yeah.
So if you want me to be completely honest with you, all my followers, all my people who really listen to me
I
are
feel
from
like
like
that's the right
Cali.
move. That was the right move because I felt like I felt the same way. Again, I'm not trying to say I was a big rapper. I was not. But like even my name was True Game, and like there was a Portland rapper in Portland, a group or something called True Game. But I was like, it felt more like Portland has like ciphers or something going on. Like it's
Yeah.
not music, it's ciphers. And so I remember the same thing. I was like, I just don't feel like I could go to Portland and perform. It's like I got to reach out to other. That's why SoundCloud felt like the best way out because I was like,
Yeah.
the crowd is out there. But anyways, switching the topic a little bit back to the album.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Now that you said performers and stuff like that, you performed, right?
I have.
How does it feel? I don't, obviously.
Or do you have any
how-
stories while
Yeah,
performing?
like, how does it feel to perform in front of a crowd? Like, is it nerve wracking? Do you feel like a rock star? Like, are you just fucking living in the limelight?
It's a bit of
How,
both.
like how does that feel? What's the vibe with that?
I mean, it's definitely a little bit nerve wracking, until you really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like even coming in here a little bit, I felt a little bit nervous, but
Yeah.
having a couple drinks in me or whatever, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Everything is cool.
Once you
it-
start, you're like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fun.
It takes its time. But I feel like
But in front of a crowd, it's
in
gotta
front of a
feel
crowd, yeah.
different.
Like I performed for the first time. I want to say like 4 years ago in Hillsboro. I think it's maybe it's called like 1823 Mystery Bar or something like that.
Who were you opening for?
I wasn't opening for nobody. That was just mostly like a bunch of rappers that were on the
Oh,
come
just a
up.
local open
On
show.
the come up, yeah.
Okay,
On the come up,
Yeah,
but
I've been to something like that before. Yeah.
like,
that's cool.
and then I had this one show in Portland. Actually, it was a strip club. I didn't even know it was a strip club, for real. but Spice One, Spice One, he used to rap with Tupac.
Yes, sir.
Of course, who doesn't know Spice One? Shout out Spice One. West
Welcome
Coast.
to the ghetto.
Well, yeah, hell yeah. So he had an after party, and
Okay.
and it was at this strip club, and I was the last performance. So I was the main performance, I guess you can say. And at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to go first because I'm like, man, I want to get in, get out. I don't want to be in
Yeah,
this
get
place.
it
I
over
was just
with.
like, let's get out of here. But then I came to realize, it's like, fuck, man, they want me to do it last.
To
you know?
finish it
Yeah.
with a bang.
Main
Yeah.
event.
And that was the one that I had a few songs on there that a couple unreleased songs that I rapped on there too, that people are like, oh shit, man, where's that song at, or where's this at? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
How do I find that one? Yeah.
But it was just like that. It was just rapping off an instrumental. So when a rapper is real, when they can rap off their instrumental rather than over the song.
Yeah. Not only that, I will touch on the subject. A Hispanic rapping in Spanish. So in Beams,
Yeah.
you
I heard
you
that
say
earlier.
they don't know me, yo tampoco.
Yeah.
And in Red Wine, you were also very experimental with your flow. You were almost like singing and like going all over the place with that song. I liked it.
You did a whole verse. In
I like that
Spanish.
song, but I remember I thought like when I heard that song, like he's got what it takes because you're being experimental. Most people are like, nah, I'm sticking to what I'm comfortable with. And Red Wine, I remember hearing it and like, this is totally different than everything else that's on his album right now. But and everything else he had put out before even. So, but it was dope. It almost had like some Mexican OT like flavor to it, like almost country. I don't know what it was about it that was different, but I remember hearing those songs and comparing Beams and Red Wine. Like you got Spanish flows on both of those. That's pretty dope. What do you feel about that?
Red Wine, I feel like the second verse was it was supposed to go to the homegirl Annalise, she from NorCal. And it just didn't fall through. I had another artist from Woodburn who I was trying to get on that verse, but it didn't go through either. So I decided, what, let me do something with it. let me do something with it. You know, shout out my boy Sal, my boy Sal from Woodburn. You know, he was like, you know what, like, how about you do this, or you put some Spanish into it, or whatever, you know. And I'm like, you know what, yeah, I can do that for sure.
Let's bring it back to the heritage.
And you know, with Woodburn and Houston, you know, I started off, you know, you out your brain, you out your mind, you out your damn cerebro. I'm cooking with peso
Yep.
peso, flipping work on my hands, tengo el mundo entero. You know, so like I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw
I
in
was
some
going.
Spanish in there so people can feel that.
But I also
the
feel like
flavor.
it's important because
I
you're
started when I heard that because I was driving to work when I was hearing that, and then I played that back and I was just. Oh,
but I
shit,
feel like
yeah.
personally it's important because of your complexion.
Yeah.
You look light skinned. You got a red beard. You know, you got
Mm-hmm.
your Canelo's cousin. And I
You look like
remember,
my homie
I
Red,
remember
bro.
the first time I heard Jeezy and he was saying nigga, and I was like, "Who's this white boy saying nigga? Like, why is he getting away with this shit?" And the same might apply to you. Some people might think you're a light skinned white boy or something. They hear you speaking Spanish, they're like, "Oh, okay, he's Hispanic, he's Mexicano."
Mexicano.
And so like it was dope for me hearing that because it's like, hey, you're representing, but you're also like not afraid to show like I am Hispanic. I speak that. You're gonna hear more of that, you know, and I fucked with that.
I mean, Spanish is my first language. You know, I grew up in Woodburn. Regardless, you know, it's a lot of Mexicanos, a lot of Russians, and you know, I'm not ever gonna be ashamed of where I come from. You know,
Yeah.
Hell no.
we are who we are. You know, we're Mexican. No matter what, we come in different shapes, sizes,
It's a privilege to know Spanish
colors,
nowadays, so you
you
don't
know.
if you don't know.
Yes, sir.
absolutely. Like just like anybody does.
Yeah.
You know, you are who you say you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's who I am. Like I'm Mexican, bro. Like at the end of the day, you know, I got love for everybody, but you know, Spanish is my first language, and you know, I'm gonna throw that in my music.
That's right. And you also brought up Annalise, who's my next question.
Mhm.
You ended the album with 2 tracks for the ladies, which I
Mm.
fucked with. Like I said, the album switches up different styles, but you ended it for the ladies, and the 2 songs happen to feature Annalise. I've never heard of her before, but she sounds great. I don't know who she is. Who is she, and how did that become about?
Annalise is a artist who I heard making music with Big Tone, a bunch of other artists, and she has her own platform. You know, she's great. She's a great singer, and I just happened to reach out and told her, you know, I need a hook. You know, everything is it's always professional. You know, obviously, you know, you gotta keep things that way. She's a great artist, like I said, you know, and it just happened to be her getting on my music. You know, it's
With that being said, did you sign to a label? I'm not sure about the details. Are
Nah,
you with a
man.
label?
I'm not. I'm
Okay,
not with
so the
label.
only reason I have that question is because I noticed you were putting out, like I said, Four Wall Love under
Mhm.
your channel, the next video under your channel, and then it stopped. And
Distro
the
Kid.
rest of the music videos have been coming out through a different channel, which I was wondering, is that a label or
It's
what's going on there?
DistroKid. So you know, I'm putting out my music through DistroKid, and you know, it's they'll put your music out through Spotify, Apple Music, everything. You know, you gotta it has to make sure that everything checks out first before anything goes out, because you can't just be putting out music that don't belong to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like all my songs, they're exclusive.
Can
So,
you still put them out on your channel?
absolutely.
You're just choosing not to, or
It's because that's the way it goes out through there. You know, I can definitely put it through my channel, you know, but eventually it will. Eventually
Okay.
it will. Right now it's just, you know, I'm doing it through there, and it's easier.
Yeah.
don't mind me. I'm not questioning shit. I'm just like
Curious.
yeah, curious. Other than that, my last topics that I wanted to bring up, you've done show dates before. Is there any show dates that we can look forward to?
I'm gonna keep y'all updated on that one, because just like before, you know, like the shows that I did before, they were just, you know, random. It wasn't really nothing that I'm like, all right, cool. I'm up tell people, you know, I got these shows, because I didn't really have music like that to put out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I first had my first show, Four Wall Love wasn't even a thing yet.
Okay.
You know, it was before that. It was mostly like my SoundCloud music. And then, you know, now I got music to put out that I can, you know, perform for real. But for shows, you know, I'm definitely right now I'm working on getting a bunch of artists who, you know, who can, you know, perform. It takes time. It takes
Yeah.
time, but right now
And
there's
you
no
definitely
debt.
have songs that are gonna do things, because we're just talking about the album here. another thing I had a question is like, why did Peso Peso not make the album? Was that like some kind of hoops you had to jump through? Because I felt like some of those were kind of good, but like, is that just kind of like timing? Or like, I guess my main concern was Ballin' Like Dame. I think that was
That song's
probably one of your best
Yeah.
songs yet.
That was dope.
And I put it on the sound pad, and when I was doing that, I had to get the laptop and send it over.
Yeah.
My son was watching me do this, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he knows about the podcast, and I was like, "We're gonna interview this rapper."
His son's name is Damien, just so you guys
Yeah,
know.
my son's name is Damien, and I call him Dame.
Yeah.
So I was like, check out this song. It's talking about like someone like you, like balling like Dame. And my son was hearing it, and I went to take a shower, and this guy was just hitting replay and replay on the sound pad. He's like, I really like this song, Dad. I really like this song. And so I showed him the music video to show him your face. You know, look, this is the guy rapping it. And after he saw you rapping, he looked at you as this huge deal. And I was like, he's gonna be on our podcast today. He's like, oh, I can't wait for that episode to drop because he watches that.
Dame's like, Dad, are we rich?
Hey, shout out your son, Damien. Shout out Damien.
Yeah. But he was a big fan. He told me he fucking loves
I
Ballin'
appreciate
Like
it.
Dame.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So why did that not make the cut? I guess in case.
I could have put some songs that I had already released into the album, but I feel like it was just, I wanted to do something new. It wasn't really something that it's just like, oh, they didn't make the cut. It wasn't like that, I think it was just more like new songs, something new, a different album cover, you know what I'm saying? All my other singles, they all have their own little picture, album cover. But that's all it was. That's all it was. I honestly kind of rushed it a little bit. I could have waited a little bit longer, but my album was supposed to come out during summer. I wanted it to come out during summer, but it didn't happen. But better late than never, that's for sure.
Yeah. Was last question I had. I remember I just forgot to ask this one. My favorite song on the album was No Credit.
No credit.
Because you sang on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I used to do some shit like that. And it's like, it doesn't sound like you, but you hit it well. And I could tell it was you, but I was like, it doesn't sound like you, but it's. And not only that, the versatility. You had the guts to get on there and do that.
Put
you
yourself
put
out there, yeah.
And it sounded good. I'll tell you that. It sounded good. But my question was, it sounded so good. Like, did it get recorded later on in the process? Because it almost seems like the flow got better with that song and like certain songs in the album. Like, it seemed like the flow got better. So was there a time gap in the album? Because it seemed like you started off a little bit like nervous and then you just got better and better as the album progressed.
I think it was just me putting the songs wherever I felt they were right, compared, with the name of
they weren't recorded in that order, right?
No.
Obviously.
No, I think I recorded maybe like 4 songs from the album in one day, but I think it was just the order that I put the songs in. It some of them, like for example, the last song, which was what was the last song?
On the album.
On the album.
Let's see.
Need to know.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That last song was recorded maybe a year ago.
Oh shit.
A year ago. And a few of them were recorded maybe like months ago or even longer, to be honest. But that Need to Know was like a year ago. And it was just in the vault, man. I'm like, you know what? I can't just drop it just now yet. It needs to be perfect. It needs to be an album. It needs to go on my album. But that was definitely something that was, I don't want to say it was intentional. It was unintentional. It just happened to happen how it did.
Yeah. As it should. As things should. We're going to take a little bit of break. We'll be right back.
So bad.
All right, guys. Welcome back for that intermission. Too many beers were drank. Fuck. Little whiskey.
There's a lot of water in these, So shit.
He's the first
You gotta
person I
drain
heard
main
say the
vein.
same thing I used to say. Drain the main vein. I never really hear people say that, but
Did I say that?
you said that.
Yeah.
You said that. But it's something I've always liked to say too. But in this next segment, I almost want to call it. What's your dad's name?
Jose Luis.
I almost want to call this segment the
Don-
Jose
Don.
Luis segment, only because there's a story behind it. So we got invited to a wedding one time from a high school friend of ours, and Christian's dad got invited because she knew him.
I remember this.
They serve birria and stuff at a wedding and stuff, like they bring you your plate. He's like, what? No hot sauce? Good thing I brought my own.
Oh.
He pulls out a baggie of habaneros.
Yeah.
And he just like starts eating his meal with habaneros. Can I have one? Yeah, here, he's extra. He has extra habaneros.
It was a little like this.
So this is the Jose Luis segment. Because
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
just because. Let's fucking do it.
Dumb ways to die.
Let's fucking get some habaneros in our system, dog. Are you down?
Shit, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but habaneros is not really my thing.
It's not
You
gonna
want
be
me-
fun for anybody. I'll
not
tell you
gonna be
that.
fun, bro.
This
It's
is
not.
not gonna be fun for anybody. I almost wanted to open up with this, but I wasn't sure how much we were gonna fuck up the podcast.
I thought Vic was gonna be here, and I was like, all right, we're all gonna.
We'll split it in half.
Yeah, no, we're gonna split this bitch 3 ways. Cause look at the size.
Yeah,
of
that's
this fucker.
fucking
Look at the
big.
size of this bitch.
Yeah.
You know what? No, I'll let you guys pick. Let's do the smaller one.
I'll take a bite of a tip. Let
Just
Mac
a
choose.
tip. Just a tip.
Do you want to bite the tip or you want to share one with Chris?
I don't
No.
give a damn, honestly.
I think
Because
we
it's
need
either
to
you
cut
take the
this bitch.
first bite of it or you take the second bite of it.
Let me see this. No,
I mean-
look. This is what we're gonna do.
Okay, split it.
We're splitting it.
Ooh, I was gonna bring gloves too, just so we're not touching the.
Don't
fucking...
touch your eyes, all right?
Yeah.
Don't touch your eyes.
The things we do for this fucking podcast. Now, this is definitely gonna be a clip though.
Pick your poison, boys.
You know what I was saying? I was like, fucking Mac's gonna turn red, dog, pero está más güero que todos.
I'm gonna go for the smallest piece.
I'll get the middle one just because, you know.
Oh,
I brought them.
you got the green stem, you
Yeah.
bitch. Oh, you guys are giving me the biggest one.
No
fucking
way. I got
dicks.
the biggest one.
That's the part that has the most water, bro. So that you good, actually.
Smart ass rapper here.
Just so y'all know. Look.
Hey,
Another
well,
one.
show it. There's seeds in there, right? You got
Let's
it?
see how we're doing.
Hey, you don't
this.
got no seeds in there, dog. Here, let me give you some of mine. Let me give you some of
All
mine.
right. We gonna taste test this right now.
All right, fuck it. Wait. The same beer, but cheers, brothers.
Cheers, motherfuckers. You can have that.
Give me a beer. I'm gonna need one.
Instant fire.
Oh yeah. The back of my throat is feeling that for sure. Let me see that opener. Oh, never mind. I got a lighter.
This one's for y'all.
Oh, fuck.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, it's kind of bad.
Like it's not bad yet, but like I can feel that it's gonna build up.
habaneros is a weird thing, you know. Like
Wait,
they
no
taste
drinking
good.
nothing for like 5 minutes.
They taste good, but like they're spicy, you know.
It hits you hard. It hits you hard, but it's a different type of spice.
All right, the people
But
want to
it's
know:
good, but they taste good almost.
are you fucking with Tapatio Valentina or Tabasco?
Fuck
Go
no Tabasco?
Tapatio.
Tapatio all day.
every time.
Not
Valentina,
every time.
there's no
Not every time.
Tapatio.
Fuck.
Not every time.
Surprisingly, I went to Mexico. We're talking fast already.
Valentina
Man.
for
They
like,
do not fuck
my-
with
My boy Alex is
Fuck.
sweating.
I am. They don't fuck with Tapatio in Mexico. It's all about fucking Valentina in Mexico.
Are my eyes watering now?
This was a good
my
fucking
eyes
idea. This
watering?
was a good idea.
This
But,
is good.
but I'm good. I'm cool.
It
Don't
helps
touch
for like
your eyes, motherfuckers.
no. You're the one that split it.
I don't touch my eyes. I know.
Oh
but
god damn.
we all touched it, is what I'm saying.
That's why I was like, we shouldn't smoke first because it's gonna open up our tongue pores, and that's even worse.
Safe to say, Alex he's dying right now.
I mean, no, it's definitely
The
it's
fear-
habanero.
I-
I
Teardrop.
feel like you're handling it better than I am.
The first teardrop has dropped. I dropped it. It was me.
Can I
God
cry now?
damn.
Ooh.
You should have brought some fucking ice cream. I told you, pussy. Ah, fuck.
This fool wanted milk.
Take it like a boss.
This fool wanted milk. I know. You know what it is? Well, habanero spices
I wanted to
you
drink
like,
the microphone right now.
No, habanero spices you like pretty bad, like on the front end. But I think it only lasts like maybe like 10, 15 minutes.
Hey, honestly,
If that.
a jalapeno fucking burns like a motherfucker. With habanero, it has a better flavor.
Yeah.
We were
Have you
gonna
had
bring serranos
Have you ever-
first
have you
and
ever
then do
been into
habaneros.
Serranos? Yeah,
those,
serranos.
those ones hit like a motherfucker right away.
Those are two. They're in hit and miss. Sometimes they're not very spicy, but every now and then I make those like on on the Blackstone, toreados and shit.
Yep.
And I'll bite one, and I'm like, dude, it's spicy as fuck. And I'm
God
like,
damn, I'm
God.
crying. It was my idea
I was
too.
about to say that. I was like, that was Alex's idea.
My tears haven't came out of my eyes yet, but you know I gotta go in here.
One drop of pee came out though. That's why it's called Mac 1.
Hey,
One
we
drop of pee.
One drop
we
of
were
pee.
saving this one for my boy Vic though.
And I was telling you to bring more. Fuck me.
I know he wanted to all of us have one. I was like, you're tripping, dog.
Hell no.
I wasn't with it.
I've had a whole one to myself before, but this one is fucking big.
I mean, if you were gonna give me a fucking habanero, at least give me some tacos next time, bro.
Right.
Come on.
Fuck. Notes for the next podcast.
It's going away now.
I do got some food right there, but you know it's probably cold. right now.
In the shawarma, just dice it
shawarma,
up.
It's
Shawarmas are fire, bro.
gyro. Gyro, is that what that's how
Oh,
you
is that
pronounce
a
it?
gyro?
Yeah, it's a gyro.
Oh, I thought it was a shawarma.
Nah, it's a
Yeah.
gyro.
They're like similar,
Lamb.
but
It's similar.
It's similar. Yeah, the people that actually
No,
make
yo
it, they're
eres
like
vato.
it's not the same.
It was my idea to clown. I'm getting clowned on.
No llores, cholo.
We'll be back after this intermission.
This was about to pass out.
Yeah, you heard the name. Been balling before the change. Racks in my wallet, that's chop for the change. Or change for the trust, man, I really all just.
We're good, bro. You grew up eating a lot of spicy food? Like your pops or your family?
They,
eat spicy
yes,
food?
I love spicy food, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest spicy
No,
food
yeah,
eater,
yeah.
but I love
I'm the
spicy food.
same. My pops though, he started the story. You know, my dad's like wild one. Like him and his compadres and my uncle, bro. They just like everywhere they go, like it's just like normal to them. Like they just fucking habaneros, jalapenos, and serranos.
Ooh.
My suegro too. My suegro fucked with them. One time I had a neighbor. I was washing my car outside, and apparently my neighbor he grows his own ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers, and he came by, and he fucking like he gave me a bunch of the peppers, you know, and he told me he's like what are you? Oh, yeah. And I was like not gonna eat it. I was like hell nah. My suegro gets home, and I see him, and he's like yeah I'll try it. And I know he was fronting the whole time. I was just like, he's like, no, it's not that spicy. It's not that spicy. And I could see him sweating, but dude, he handled it like a G, bro.
Yeah.
He handled that, dude. He ate it. I don't know if it was a ghost pepper or Carolina Reaper, but he handled that shit. But no, I'm not built that like that. Fuck to be eating that much spicy.
Definitely not
You
built
good,
like
Alex?
that. Sweat through this high. I'm sweating balls like Dame. Fuck.
Just take your shirt off, bro.
You know what segment we're cutting out of this show?
No, we gonna keep it.
Yeah.
We gonna keep it.
Yeah.
He gonna edit it.
Yeah,
though. He
yeah.
gonna do a lot of things to make it work,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
doesn't look like he crying. and stuff like
He
that.
look like he dying.
Like, he's gonna put that as a picture right there at the front. What do you call that? When you put the picture as
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The cover?
the cover, you
Yeah.
know, he's gonna put that right here. Him flexing.
Mm-hmm.
He ate a whole fucking habanero to himself. He said,
A fucking bite one. I did take the biggest piece though.
"You did, you
No,
did.
you didn't.
Props."
I looked at the seeds in his and yours, and mine had the most.
Hey, you know what? It ain't even about the seeds, bro.
Say what you want.
Hey, but the seeds do give it some more spice. Though.
They do. That they do.
If you take the seeds out, it's less spicy.
That they do.
Ugh. God damn.
Hey, you know, with balling like Dame, everybody
Hey.
thought that it was balling like Dang, like Johnny Dang,
Like, dang.
like Johnny Dang. A lot of people did think that it was balling like Johnny Dang,
Yeah, that's funny.
but then Peso Peso right away he realized that he said I'm balling like Dame, or he said he's dunking like Giannis,
Yeah, I seen that. I
and
like
I'm
that.
like, okay,
That's cool.
he knew
fuck
right
with
away
that.
that I was talking about Damian Lillard.
Yeah. I fuck with that. Giannis is he's fucking dope.
Antetokounmpo, shout
Hey,
out
And that Greece fucking
the Greek freak.
Thank you, Diane. You know what really grinds my gears?
I was thinking about this last time. As a truck driver, you know what really fucking grinds my gears? A lot of major cities are building roundabouts. And I fucking hate that. As a truck driver,
Wedderburn has a new one in the back. By
Yeah,
the fucking-
but as a
over there
truck
by
driver, though,
Amazon.
they're building a lot, and as a truck driver, like They have signs in front of the roundabouts first
Yeah.
too. They're like, do not ride side by side to a semi truck in a
because,
roundabout.
Yeah.
Because like our tires are gonna carry on to the next lane.
Yeah, you're gonna go into both lanes. Yeah.
Everywhere I go on roundabout, there's a car. I'm pretty sure driven by an Asian woman. There's a car. Always wanted to ride side by side with me. And I'm like, why, bitch? Like, you don't see the fucking long ass trailer that could carry on to your lane?
So it just happened to happen. It's not a stereotype. It just happened to happen.
She's
every
not just a
single
woman.
time.
She's Asian.
No,
not
there's
My
there's
goodness.
roundabouts going on everywhere, and they're getting built in a lot of places, and it keeps happening to me. And I'm just saying, like, as a truck driver,
You don't want to kill nobody.
I don't. But like, what was wrong with fucking stoplights? Because a lot of the times you're
The problem-
waiting
yeah,
and
you
like
know what it
traffic's
is?
going,
It's
going,
just-
and
it
you
just-
can't go. And it's like, bitch, I
roundabout
would have
is-
got a green light by now.
But the roundabout is meant to keep traffic moving.
But it's going for the most traffic area. If you're waiting for the traffic to go by, you're never gonna get in. They're never letting you in.
I don't know.
So I,
I
hate
think
it.
they just look attractive. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is too.
That's what grinds
peop-
my gears.
Yeah. Asian women.
Not even Asian women. I think
Kidding,
women
it was
in
a joke.
general. Women in
Hey,
general.
no pun intended. It was a joke.
No, women in general don't have common sense when it comes to driving. Like a roundabout. Like you're driving next to a semi truck. Really? That's what you're doing? Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's-
There's a sticker in the back of his semi. Don't get on the inner lane when he's turning left.
There is a sticker on the back of my semi, but it says, "Don't check me, bitch. Check your credit score." That's what
Larry,
it says.
Larry June. Larry June.
Hell
shout
yeah,
out.
I got that from LarryJune.com, baby. Shout out to him. He knows.
Yep. Larry June. Actually, that's an artist who I want to work with too. Larry
Oh
June.
shit! Speaking of artists you want to work with, I have a suggestion for you as to someone you should work with.
Okay, let me hear it.
GB from Merced, California.
Oh, GB, Ghetto Boy. You know, he's
Hell
actually
yeah!
he's an artist who I actually got in contact with.
He
a
reminds
while
me of
back.
you because he tries to fucking spit some knowledge.
He does,
And not only
he does
that,
spit knowledge. Yeah,
in an even different way too, like neighborhood wise. Like he's putting on for his neighborhood. Dope as Yola was honestly one of my favorite podcasts, and he's the reason I found out about GB. They're both from Merced. That podcast is honestly dope. Seeing them two collab,
yeah.
and I was like, it made me. I honestly watched that episode to prepare for this one, and I was like, you never want to compare your situation to someone else's, but I did for a second. I was like, damn, Dope as Yola has got a way better podcast than we got.
Yeah, but
And GB's like, doing his thing. And I was like, damn, one day we're going to be there. Both
Yeah,
of us. On
yeah,
both
hell
our
yeah.
ends, on both our ends.
you know what? You guys said something earlier, and you said something earlier that really caught my mind, and it kind of slipped because Alex was just going off, and I wanted to give him his spotlight.
Thank you.
But it's one of those things. And I told Alex this in the beginning when we started the podcast. I was like, bro, like you said, like, oh, every time you drop something, you thought that there was something that you could have changed. You could have made it perfect. You could have made it better. And I remember Alex in the beginning, he's just like, bro, he just wanted to make it perfect too. But I was like, bro, in the beginning, let's just get it the fuck out, get it out of the way, because we need to be 1,000 podcasts in, bro.
Yeah, right.
We need to just get the episodes like out. Like, who cares? And you said it earlier, like the first 5, they're bad. And the people that are chiming in now, and if you saw the first one, thank you for still watching this one.
Right.
There's a big difference. But yeah.
I was
no.
also going to say this. Oh, God damn. We were talking about your music earlier. And you mentioned you weren't going to claim this as your best music out because your first album. And you're like, I put shit out. It's not my best shit out. But I'm going to get better. And I remember listening to your music today and thinking, comparing it to, I'm a big boxing fan. And I compared it
We'll have
to
a
a
comment after
boxer.
that.
I compared it to a boxer coming into his debut. You saw his amateur career, which I'm sure with you had stuff before all this, in high school, like SoundCloud, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You had shit out there that you said, it's
Yeah.
not it.
It's not.
It's not it.
No.
Okay, so again, going back to my analogy, I really want to keep this too for the podcast. I'm gonna make sure that this shit fits in there.
Let me throw this in
Real quick. My analogy was like you're coming in like a debut boxer. you already have your hype. People are expecting your debut. They want to see your debut.
Right.
And when you come in, they know what you're about, kind of. Like, he's good at this. He's good at his jab. He's good at uppercuts. He's a knockout, or he's not a knockout. He takes it the distance. You know what the debut is going to look like. But once the debut happens, you're like, I fuck with it. You know where he's going to kind of go. But, like, he needs to work on his jab. He got hit too much. He needs to work on his defense, move his head. You start seeing the things. And even then, you go into like somebody mid-career. Like, they got better at this. They got better at that. But now it exposed this hole. Now, again, I just looked at it from a boxing point of view. And when you said that, I was like, that. I wanted to say it, but I just didn't include it. But I was like, bro, you're a debut boxer right now, debut artist. You put out your best work with the timing you knew, with the expectations you had. Next one that comes out, I'm guaranteeing it, you're gonna come out different. You're gonna come out like this feature needs to be intentional. Like, I'm pretty sure Peso Peso, that's a great name to have. It should have been on the album, and like, as much as you have it on a single, that's already great. But next time you're gonna be like, hey, fuck a single. The album is gonna have at least one,
Check
like,
this out. Check this out real quick. Cool. So, with one of my inspirations, I know I had already talked about old school, but I never said anything about new school. At least anything like, when I grew up, J. Cole is definitely one of my inspirations.
Of course.
Bro,
Bro, let me tell you this.
Everybody loves J. Cole.
Nobody
Everybody
can tell
loves
you that
J.
if you
Cole.
got that.
Yeah.
And J. Cole is up there, with
hands down.
lyricists, and he makes music.
But on
So
the route there, can I like inspire somebody like Aaron May?
Aaron May.
He reminds me of J. Cole.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, that's someone to aspire.
I'm
like,
sure
on
he
the
was an
way-
inspiration too.
Yeah, on the way to J. Cole.
J. Cole
like
was an
Aaron
inspiration
May,
to Aaron May, yeah.
Yeah, on the way to J. Cole, you could catch an Aaron May, or like, I already feel like you already did some major moves. Not even trying to talk down. Like, you already got some major names in your music. So I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me. You already have some major names in your music. So I'm not even trying to like downplay your music at all. Like, you're already fucking with mainstream people. Acito to me was like, bro, I listened to that guy. Like, and when I found out you had music with him, I was like, sorry, edit that out. Bro.
Yeah, he's still spiced out.
Yeah. But you like, it made me look at you a little bit higher than I already was. I was already viewing you like the best Woodburn rapper we had. Not even that. Probably the best Oregon rapper we had. The only one I could probably say like he's up there with you is like Cool Nuts.
Cool Nuts.
Cool Nuts.
Yeah.
And,
Cool Nuts
and
is the
like,
man.
and that's way back in the day,
Yeah.
dog. That's way back in
Damn,
the day.
I forgot about him.
And like,
Honestly.
there is other ones like Spoons. I got the pleasure to meet Spoons through my homie, and Spoons does have some good Portland music too. So shout out to Spoons. I'm not gonna like sit here and like bash other people. Other than that though, I thought Spoons was doing it the best. And like, no hate, but like, my boy right here is putting his best foot forward, and I guess
making it happen.
Spoons did it for the black folks. My boy's doing it for the town, for the
raza.
Mexicanos, So I guess they're in two different lanes. But I put you right up there, boy. Like, I'll tell you right now on cam, dog. I think in Oregon, you've done it the best, perro. You've done it the best. And like, that's coming from someone who used to try to rap, and like, I could tell you my shit was a joke compared to your career you got so far. And you're only getting started, perro. That's the best part about it. And so we're very, very, very proud to have you here on our podcast. And
Thank you.
we're not ending it here. I'm just saying, like, we're just very, very proud of you. Like, keep going.
Recognizing it,
And
yeah.
like,
no, because it's super hard, bro. Fuck, that's something that you're doing. Most people only think that wanting to do it, but actually pursuing it, the whole nother thing.
yeah.
For sure.
I appreciate that, honestly. That's a lot of love. I appreciate that,
Oh, another question I wanted to ask. I brought up as money artist that you featured, but I know you got homies that you had on the album, and I peeped other music videos you had homies on. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but I know your homie Ozzy. I know that's
Ozzy.
one of your brothers.
It's my brother.
So-
yeah.
While we're on here, before they say you didn't mention them, let's put some light on their names too. Who are the other people you collabed with that you'd like their names to be out there, or like you plan on doing some more future work with?
Ozzy is my brother. You know, like I've already had music that I had worked with him back in the day that we never put out, and he's my brother. You know, I've grew up with him. You know, he's not blood brother, but you know, blood don't make you don't make you family.
Facts.
You know,
Right.
Yeah, no, 100%.
so he's my brother.
Hey,
you know,
like my boy Jay said, blood will make a difference.
Yeah. straight up.
So I definitely got a lot of more music coming up with him. You know, he's honestly one of the greatest rapper I know.
There's a music video you have where he's at the intro throwing the jab, fucking hook.
Rags to riches.
And I seen his name on there and I was like, did he even rap on the video?
He did. He was the hook.
Oh,
Rags to
okay.
riches. Rags to riches. That's,
Okay, shout out to
that's-
him then. My bad, dog.
That song is my boy Slug.
I feel like
OTR.
I thought like the other guy did the hook and a verse. I don't know why. It seemed like the voice
The
didn't
first
change.
guy?
It didn't seem like the voice changed. They sound similar, I guess.
I mean, I can tell the difference.
I
You know,
got a
but-
I got a
but, you
story of that guy Ozzy though.
know, okay.
He's Sulema's little brother, right?
That's my sister too.
Well, rest in peace to her.
Rest in peace.
We will say that. We'll put our respects out there.
Yeah.
Beautiful girl. This was way before that though. I was like probably in second grade, dog, and he was no, I was probably like in fourth grade, so I was young, and you guys are 5 years apart, so he was 5 years younger than me. So he was a little kid. I remember I was a little kid, and I looked at him like, you're an even more little kid. But we lived in Stonehenge, and I remember it was just like, it was a day I was just bored, and I went to the playground. And I always saw him, your boy. I always saw him, and like, I looked at him like a little baby kid. He was little, honestly that little. It was like, you're a baby. I'm in fourth grade. You're like in
Yeah, at that age, yeah.
preschool, kindergarten,
yeah,
preschool,
right,
kindergarten.
Right.
Bro, this little nigga walked up to me to the playground. He's like, check this out. Bah! Clipped me right on the
decks you.
chin, dog. Just decked me in the chin. And I remember I was in fourth grade and I was like, boom,
I've seen little kids do that.
I got
shit.
clipped by him and I was like, it got me mad enough, but I was like, fuck, I look like hitting a little kid back, you know? Like, so it was like, I was put in a predicament like, nigga, you just pissed me the fuck off. You just socked me in the face.
I seen that shit.
But he
happen
socked
when-
me with such a smile on the face. He was like, bah! And he had like such a proud look in his face, like,
Yeah.
you see
You
what I
should hit
just
him
did?
back.
Like,
He should hit him back.
nah, but like, I remember seeing him and that happened. And I was like, I remember just like feeling like, fuck, I can't hit a
No,
little
yeah,
kid, you know? Like, he's in preschool, kindergarten. I'm in fourth grade.
Of course.
I didn't hit him back. But then like years went by and through the homie Isaac, that was his neighbor right across the street. One time we had a bottle and we got off work early or something. And we went over and he called him over. And I was like, hey, dog, I remember you, dog. You socked me when you were a little kid. He's like, oh, for real? I remember you
Yeah.
too. And ever since then, he's remembered me. Every time I saw him out, like
Right,
out and
right.
about, he was very cool with me, very cordial, very polite. He was like, hey, what's
course.
up, dog? He went out of his way.
You were
And I just
kids.
remember his face. Like, he had a memorable face. And then I found out that's your boy, and I was like, hey, that kid's been solid since kindergarten, dog. Your homeboy's been solid
His whole
Hey,
life.
So give him
His
this
whole
handshake on my behalf, dog. Hey,
I
his
don't
whole
know-
life, that little kid been
I don't
solid,
know about
dog.
that situation, you know, with you guys being kids and he did that, you know. I
We
don't know
were
about
little
that.
kids,
No,
bro.
that's
For sure,
shit,
you know,
for
but little
sure.
kids. But he's always been the most solid person I've ever met. I'm not gonna lie to you, the most solid person
Hey.
I've ever met.
For a kindergarten hitting a fourth grader, I remember feeling that. I remember like, and I was like, oh shit, like you'd expect that another fourth grader hit you with that. I was like, hey, so I'll tell you this, he's been solid since kindergarten, dog. I'll tell you that much, perro.
From the cradle to the grave.
From the cradle to the grave. Hey, give your boy that handshake,
saying?
bro.
That's your brother or what?
That's my kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
That's tight, bro.
So-
Everybody needs people like that.
So
dog.
check that music video out. That fool socked me, dog, when he was in kindergarten.
Rags to riches. That's by
Yeah.
my boy Slug OTR. You know, we got on that track. You know, Rags to Riches is definitely a banger. Y'all should definitely check it out.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking this fool, me and him have a fucking crazy childhood story too. But me and him, like, dude, this is my brother now, bro. Like, this guy. I always tell him, I was like, dude,
Well,
you're,
I mean,
you're my
it just
dad.
goes with time. We've known each other for over 20 years.
Yeah, bro. Shit.
I remember you though either way from elementary.
Oh,
school.
dude, I
That's why
forgot to touch on that. I just went to the barber today.
Yeah.
And I was like, the barber's like,
Shit, I did
what you got going
haircut
today? What you got going today? And I was like, nah, I got to do this podcast. And I was like, you know, Mac, Oscar cuts my hair. I don't know.
Oscar? Yeah.
I don't know his last name.
Guerrero.
Oh yeah,
He
he,
cuts
yeah,
my
he
hair
gets
too
down. He
sometimes.
gets down.
Yeah, yeah,
he
that's
gets
my
down.
boy though. He's been
Yeah,
cutting my
he
hair
gets
for a
down.
couple
Yeah,
years
this foot
on the
bought me
low.
on too.
My brother cuts hair too. By the way,
Hey,
he's the
just-
one that gets
Pa
me
que
right. Yeah,
sepas.
yeah,
Eh.
he's the one
I
that
didn't
gets
know
me
that.
right. Right. I didn't get one before coming in. You know, I had other things going on. But either way,
Hey,
like, he's
and
the
that's
one that
another
gets me
thing.
right.
If
My
you're
cousin- my
still
cousin cuts
watching,
hair, too.
wait, real quick.
Yeah, he
If
just
you're
faded
still
me up, like,
watching
on
at
last
this
Sunday.
point,
We went to go play soccer, and then he faded me up right after.
if you're still watching at this point, I just want to let you know, as this podcast keeps going, we want to like sponsor local businesses in Woodburn, Hubbard, Canby, Wilsonville, Salem. Like, if you got a business going on that's not getting much attention, like, we'll take $5 for a fucking sponsorship. Like, fuck, something.
Promote your shit.
You know, promote your shit. We'll promote yours. Like, at the beginning of the show, after the show, you know, shit. We're trying to do something, you know, but
You don't even gotta say. You know, we just promote them to
Yeah,
promote them. You know what I'm
straight
saying?
up.
shit, not even
I'm
$5.
on it.
I know you're gonna do your edit.
Hey,
later.
right now
I'm
for
just
free.
saying.
Right now for free, you know. But what were we
Hey.
talking about before this?
We're talking about childhood things.
Childhood, yeah.
No, but
other
like
things,
specifically, fuck, we
I
were
don't
talking
know.
about something.
We were talking about
Cutting
childhood,
hair, your brother cutting.
hair.
Oh,
no, my
Oscar
cousin.
cutting.
then,
Okay,
Speedy,
so
then,
we're talking about you.
Oscar.
It's yes. He's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing after this?" I was like, "I got this podcast. I gotta go record with Mac." You know who Mac is? And he's like, "Oh yeah, Speedy's brother." I was like, "Yeah, that's how I know him." I was like, "I knew Speedy. I mean, I didn't know Mac. You know, back then, I was like, I knew Speedy, his older brother." I was like, "But I remember you though because." I remember, I don't know if you know him or remember him, but Jesus Lopez, True Lopez.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that
yeah.
family to you?
He definitely grew up with them. Yeah,
But he's
Jesus.
not like literally family.
Not
to you?
family,
I
but
thought he was because you guys were always there when I was.
We
be
lived
there.
in Stonehenge and we lived in front of them. You know, and then
Like
you know,
they would babysit you guys or something
yeah,
like that.
his
Yeah,
his
yeah.
mom
'cause
would babysit us.
That's why
yeah.
I thought you guys were family because like I would go over in the mornings as a friend. You know, just like let's go to the bus together.
I remember that.
And like I would go and like there was hella kids there. Like it wasn't just you guys. It was
No.
like more kids. That now that we're adults, I'm like
the
I
auntie
see.
of the block.
No, but like now that we're adults, like I didn't grow up talking to them. Like there was other people that I want to mention, but I'm not gonna call them out. But I'm like, I remember seeing them as kids and like now as adults, you know. And I'm like, oh, I remember you used to get watched there. But one of the things I remember about you is like I was cool with your brother, so I would talk to Jesus and your brother Jose, and you were always there. But like you were so little, we must have been 4th grade, 5th grade, and you were like kindergarten, preschool, one of the two. But I remember I would always look at you and be like, that kid looks Russian. Like you had blonde hair and like really light skin. You weren't like light skinned Mexican. You were like Russian
White
light skin.
boy,
Like
like,
yeah,
yeah.
like pale,
yeah,
you know?
white boy. Yeah.
And like it's funny enough because through time, you know, he introduced me back to you and I was like, and then I see you with a full on beard now. And I was like, oh shit, I remember you as a kid. And then I followed you on Instagram or Snapchat and you shared your kids. And I'm like, your son looks just like you, dog, when you were a kid. Like when you were a kid, that's exactly what you look like. Well, yeah.
Genetics, you say, yeah.
Hey,
That's
my daughter,
called,
my daughter looks just like me. It's
semen.
crazy, bro. This shit's wild.
Except with a vagina. Wait, no, exactly the same.
Oh my God.
Exactly the
Wait
same.
a minute, how'd I have it?
Y'all are equals. You know, when you click on the wrong porn page and there's a girl with a penis, that's Chris.
Hold up now, pause. Pause.
That guy.
Wrong page.
Stupid.
I'm into straight gays.
Lord have mercy. What the hell?
This is the turn we didn't want to take with Mac, bro. I was like,
I
bro,
know.
we don't want to
You know,
get him
once you get
tipsy.
here, you know?
And then he's part
It's
of
hard to
Rolling
get
with
out of
Life.
the
for life.
matrix.
Little did they know I showed up already. Fucked up.
He's ready
Hey,
to go.
that was good. That was good. Not gonna lie, he did show up. He looked a little nervous. I was like, dog, you want to crack a beer before we start the podcast? He's like,
Oh, it always does.
I'm
some
way ahead of you,
justice.
dog. He's like, I already had 2. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, perro, that's right.
He's
I
one of
thought I
us.
was nervous.
He's one of us.
Psych.
You thought.
Yeah. We were also talking about having him back on because one of the things I forgot to mention is we were supposed to have this podcast tomorrow. And he was like, you know what? I got some studio time hooked up for tomorrow. It's not going to work out. So with that being said, there's studio work being put out even though the album's done. So we got some more shit coming.
Absolutely.
Is this gonna be another
That's right.
album? Are we looking for a mixtape? Is this another single? Can we expect some shit real soon or a project a little bit later this year in 2026? We're just ending the year. We're in December now, so
Happy holidays.
what
Merry
can we
Christmas,
expect?
because
Happy New Year.
This will probably come out around Christmas, so it's about right.
So if I come out with something, anything else right now at the end of this year, it's definitely gonna be a single. But
Okay.
the album number 2 is coming. I definitely have to.
Do you expect the single to come out?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like before the end of the year, or is that something that you're like, let's just hold back and start the year?
No, the singles are gonna be coming, but album number 2 is also gonna be in the works. So I gotta just be dropping something.
Right.
I can't just leave it like that. I gotta be dropping something.
Can I give a suggestion?
Go ahead.
Put some of your boys on to end the year and start some of the expensive shit. Like balling like Dame, I feel like it's not my business. It's not my shit at all. So excuse me. But balling like Dame, it's so hard. It could have waited for like January 1st. So like let's be a little more strategic moving forward in that sense. Like I feel like that song was that hard. Like it could have started 2026. So if you are gonna put some other shit before the end of the year, like let's put your boys on a little bit more and then save your heavy shit. Like in my opinion too, like Peso Peso could have been a name for the album. Is there a decision behind that? Like why you were like Acito's big enough? We don't need
like
two
I
names.
said, it was just debut album. Who's to say that he's not gonna be on album number 2? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm working on that. I already have another song with him on the way, but I also have more work on the way. So
Mhm.
I guess you just gotta wait. But definitely, I'm letting you know that singles, then album number 2, or who knows? It could be the other way around. It could be album number 2, then singles. But
Yeah.
time will tell.
Another crazy thought. You know who Fuerza Regida is?
Of course.
Did you catch their vlogs in like 2020, 2021? Like JOP was doing vlogs and shit randomly.
I never really got into that. Honestly.
That's when always like all that shit was popping though. Like people like that's a norm now though. Everybody does vlogs.
Yeah, but at that
Yeah.
time it wasn't.
Yeah,
and
at that time it
especially
wasn't.
like,
Yeah, that's what
especially
made
like
him blew up.
if a nobody tries to start a vlog, it's
So
like,
hard.
what's this? Like,
Yeah.
but like everybody knew his name,
Yeah.
so like putting some stuff out there every now and then, like it helped him.
I never really was much of a
are
podcast
hard,
person,
though.
but
Yeah.
No, not a podcast, like
a
vlogs.
blog,
Vlog is like your
which is
video
literally like
reality,
more like
video
your
yeah,
your
you showing what you're
daily-
doing. Yeah,
or
you're
even
showing what
like
you're doing.
you
life.
going to the studio, like
Yeah,
the
that's a
trip
vlog.
there, you could share some of that stuff
It's
just to
def-
kind of like
yeah.
more exposure.
absolutely. You have to have that. But
Is that something you plan on doing?
That's something that I record my own things. When I'm in the studio, I'm doing this.
Not
But it's
gonna
not
lie,
the same. It's not
like,
the same.
But not gonna lie. Like I
But
do
you know what
find it would be interesting to see your road trip there
Yeah,
and like what your experience was like being there, or like even your interaction between you and Peso Peso, you and Acito. Like you guys got breakfast. Maybe like show that, and I feel like it could just be an addition too.
like
Like
throughout the day, like how everything went for you to do what.
yeah,
you
it's
have
just
done,
an addition
Yeah.
to you. It's an addition to you. Like it's like even this podcast. The reason I did that hot sauce, the hot pepper thing, was like just to show a different side of you, a different side of us, even. But like
We
it's
haven't done that
fun.
shit before.
It's fun
Yeah.
content.
Shit
It's
was
something
fun.
that can be
Spicy as
clipped.
fuck.
So like you on your own could be doing that for yourself too by including some of the cool shit you're doing, because you can't lie. Going to Houston is cool. From somebody from Woodburn, imagine like I remember like I got into truck driving and I had another homie get into truck driving and we went to Seattle, and I had gone to Seattle my whole life. My aunt lives in Seattle. And the first time I took him out there training, he's like, I've never been out to Seattle, dog. I was like, what? Bro, you're from Woodburn? You've never been out to Seattle? He's like, nah. And he was just so excited being out there. And I was like, to me, it was
Just
like,
Portland, though.
nothing,
Yeah.
So to you, it might be nothing, like going to
It's a
Houston,
more
going to
sophisticated
Cali.
Portland.
But like to someone else that could be a neighbor or somebody, a resident of Woodburn, that is like, bro, you're opening their eyes to something. So
When I go out places, it's all about business. I gotta go in and out.
yeah,
I could be there for a couple of days, get some work done, or I can be there and come back the same day, straight up like that.
right.
I gotta find a sweet spot. That's a sweet spot right here. Up here, it ain't. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You thought of
It
something.
is. It is.
does
It's
sound
right
good.
But
there.
you know what I'm saying?
Damn,
Some
that's a sweet
people
spot.
might appreciate that little like behind the scenes, even if it's clips.
But
Even
you know,
if it's
but
like,
you know what the hardest
look
part
what I
about that?
ate.
Because we've tried
That's
to
it.
do a vlog. Like
It's
just
very
us cooking
hard.
it,
It's very
it's-
hard.
You have to have a videographer. You have to have somebody that's gonna record the whole time because they don't have to be in the video.
yeah, that's
you
what
know?
we found out too. Because
Yeah.
we've been promising
It's
a
hard
vlog
to
to the
do it
podcast.
if
We
you
were
don't
like,
have a
we're gonna start
videographer.
vlogging, and it's
really
like
hard.
we've done simple stuff, and we try to do clips, and it ends up being clips, and then we're like, we don't like the clips. So I was like, you know what? It has to be exactly what Chris said. Like somebody that records the whole fucking damn thing.
Honestly,
And then like, if they find clips out of that, make clips out of that.
So if
But I just feel
anybody-
like right
if
now these
anyone wants
days
to be a
it's
part of the crew,
important to kind of think outside the box. And a rapper can't just be a rapper. It's like a rapper has to be this vlogger, rapper, entertainer. You know, almost in a sense. You know, so it's like.
but they do that
There's
also
something to
because
think
they
about.
monetize that shit, bro. Like
That too, you can make money off that too. So it's like it could be looked at as business too. You know, like a Hawaii trip doesn't
that's
have
the
to be a
goal.
Hawaii
That's
trip.
the end game.
That's one thing I heard from
Yeah.
GB too. He's like, I'm going to Hawaii, but I'm
Yeah.
also taking a videographer. He's like, why? It's business trip. He's like, no, it's a family vacation, but why not make it a business
Video,
trip at the
video
same time?
on the like for.
He's
work.
like, I'm already gonna be in Hawaii for a
that's-
family
yeah.
trip, which is a good family moment. But like, there's good views in Hawaii. Why not make it a business trip too? And it's like, bro, it's 2 in 1. You know, it's just being smart, like
Yeah.
with your money. And I guess we're just sharing this to be like, take more advantage of the things you're doing because you're doing a lot of cool shit, bro. And
I
like,
appreciate the feedback.
take
I
a little
appreciate
bit
everything.
more,
that you
take a
telling
little
me,
bit
yeah.
more advantage of that. But everything you're already doing is great, bro. Like I love the the vulnerability you've expressed, like, and the versatility in your music too. You know, both of them. Like you've expressed hard times, like how to pay your rent, and you've also expressed different flows, and all of that's gonna be appreciated and exercised and getting better. You know,
Thank you. Appreciate it. You know, bigger moves coming soon.
for sure.
It's dope. Oh yeah, dog.
All right, dogs. I think that's a good ending point for us. And like we told him before, it is not the last time he's gonna come here. Any bigger moves he's got to make in the future will for sure be documented here. And hopefully it's something he can look back on and be like, y'all were the first ones. And it's gonna be a legendary thing moving forward. So
Dude, we gangster.
yeah. Appreciate everybody here. Thank you guys for
Thanks for
tuning in
chiming
again,
in.
and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Hey.